Today I want to introduce you to what I call the Spinning Ninja 3.0. His legs spin, his arms spin. And he's really unpredictable. And if you're not careful, he'll beat the heck out of you. I'll show you how I made this guy and how his arms move. And he's totally reconfigurable. Interested? Here we go. This guy is an outgrowth of my previous video where I had my flex or coordination bag. So it was this, and one of these legs. And what I found when my kids were working out on the bag is they weren't honoring the conditioning. And what's that mean? Well, that means that they were getting in there and they were beating the heck out of the 3 sections. They didn't realize that this thing could come back and tap them. So what I did is I said, okay, well, we're going to get in here and get in an actual condition where something is going to either kick you. So this is like a front kick. That might be a back kick, or he's getting ready to kick. And these are in here and you're blocking. Again, these are all, you can reconfigure this. I'll show you how I made the joints. You bring it out like this. Make it a little easier on yourself. And these are adjustable. And the potential for this thing is really unlimited. I think it would make a great Halloween costume effect, which I might use in the future. There's so many different options for this basic frame. You could dress him up. I know what some people are gonna say, is this strong enough? This is fishing tackle, and we're gonna put it to the test a little later in the video. So we'll validate that this guy is ready for punishment abuse. Now, could you swing on him? Unless you're a lightweight, probably not. But I'm thinking about making a bigger, almost indestructible version that, yeah, a 200-pound person probably could swing on. But that's probably going to be a future video. This is a weighted section, weighted by sand. This is this weighted section, weighted by sand. There is weights in here. I'll show you how I made this section and all the hinges. See, I've actually screwed it in on the joints. You probably could glue them, but I just thought the screws would be strong enough, and that allows me to reconfigure it rather quickly. This guy, like on the previous build, you can adjust where the chest is. This is just a fishing spinner, and they can take a lot of weight. This is all just pool noodle on top of 1/2-inch PVC piping. Let's take this guy off so you can see his arm. So you got an end cap here. So right here you got 16 inches across, so about 8 inches on the side, 7 1/4, but you can make the width any distance you want. Again, I was trying to proportion him to me. If you made the shoulders wider, that might be a little easier to get in on him, but I wanted to make it a little bit challenging. And then here down on the bottom, it's 5-inch PVC pipes connected with the T and 290-degree connectors. 5 inches, 14.5 inches, 10 inches, 12 inches, 16 inches. This guy is 10 inches, just because that's the height of this section right here. You can make it out of any kind of noodle. You can use a combination of thin and thick. I actually saw some red thin pool noodles like this, or different colors. You can make the body, the legs, and the head a little thicker with a thicker pool noodle. Right now they're running about $5 a piece, and then these are running a couple bucks a piece. So one thick, you might need 2 because you got 2 of these legs. You can see that I've actually made it so that you're not hitting the end caps on the legs or the arms. It's just a little extra safety. Now, if you think people aren't taking this seriously and they're beating the Spinning Ninja, then I was thinking you could actually put some markers or some sort of thing in here, but people should probably wear glasses. You don't want to get in somebody's eye, and that would actually show the contacts you have. You could just put a little marker in here or some sort of thing so that when it made contact you could actually say, but then you're going to get your clothes marked. But it is taking it to the next level and honoring the tool, which is the Ninja. This section is just sand. If I put that nail in there, I'm wondering if it's going to straighten him out a little bit. Okay, that would just change the dynamics just a tad. But just with the sand, it's kind of interesting because you can see he's kind of leaning forward, and that kind of gives you a sense that he's coming towards you. So if you got it more like that, it may not be as interesting or compelling. But when he's like this and he's leaning towards you, it gets you to thinking, hey, I got to do something, as opposed to, you know, if it was back like that, you'd be like, hey, I got all day, or maybe down this way, you know, you'll get used to it and he can move around quickly enough. But the very fact, the way the geometry worked out with the weighting, leaning forward, I find like I have to really get in there and do something as quickly as possible. So we'll take this bottom section off and I'll show you how I made it. All right, this is my attempt to show you how I put it on. So I just took a pair of pliers. These happen to be those funky angle pliers. Just pulled on it a little bit. Now let's take this guy off so it's a little easier for you to see. Collar comes off like I showed before, and then you just pull them off like that. We'll take this apart at the workbench and I'll show you how I assembled it and some of the things I learned from making this. Here we are at the leg section. These eye hooks are just 1 1/8. Well, you could use thicker ones if you wanted. This guy right here is a barrel swivel size 1. So we got to take his legs off. Took the legs off. You can see that's hot glue on both ends. Now I'm a little concerned about that for 2 reasons. One, I think it might have frozen these elbows in place, and if that's the case, we might have to reconstruct this whole thing all over again. But let's give it a shot and see. All I'm doing is taking a pair of pliers on this end, pair of pliers on this end, twist. Hey, they move! Now I'm gonna have all sorts of sand. Well, let's pour the sand out first. Hopefully. Yeah, that worked out pretty well actually. Alright, so you can see I've got sand. And how much sand, you ask? I'm interested to find out myself. Come on, sand. 3.2 ounces or 90 grams of sand there. Now this nail I want to use for weight purposes, 146 grams or 5 ounces. So you can see the hot glue worked out great there. Didn't work so great here. Went down in there too far. Might have to cut that out. The more I took the thing apart, the more sand came out. 3.40 ounces of sand or 97 grams. And then I took the top tip off and the end of the 10-inch nail off. So what are we looking at here now? 138 grams, 4.85 ounces. And we've got the little screws in here, which is good. And the other good thing is we don't want to make it so that when we put the screws into this part of the build, that's going to be a factor either. So I'm going to hot glue this nail in place on both ends. It does feel heavier than the sand with that nail inside. By the way, the black screws that I'm using are just sharp pan head framing screws, 7/16 or 1.1 centimeters. This is perfect for the pipe because when you screw it in place, the threads go all the way through the PVC on the inside. You've got a good tight connection there. So I'm just going to come in here as straight as possible and I'm going to mark the 1 centimeter on this side, marking the position 1 centimeter on this side, and then in the center. Right, then I'm going to take this center punch and then just punch a hole there, and that will help for the drill to keep it in place. I'm using a wrench because I don't want to drill into my hand. 1, 2, and 3. You want to have a drill that goes beyond the grooves of the screw. Swap it out and re-drill these holes. I'm also using a drill that has a tip on, drilling things that are circular. Alright, 1, 2, and 3. Wait, caramba. See what I said about the cylinder and the challenge? Okay, now you got those 3 holes, and then you're going to use a hacksaw to make a groove. Cut between the holes, basically. So sometimes you can use a nail to pop off the little section there. It makes it a little easier. So now you got your groove, and you just want to clean that up. You can see that the screw will slide
nicely between the groove, but yet when you clamp it down, it'll be nice and tight. Sometimes little tools make all the difference. This is a deburring tool, and that really helps you get in there and clean up all that little plastic. You could actually re-hit it with the drill there to clean that up a bit, but that, as you can see, this makes quick work of cleaning up that slot. Okay, so both these guys are done on both sides, and I've used a hammer, or a mallet actually, and tapped them together so that they're very tight. I'm gonna have one go that way and one go that way. So I'm going to put the screws on opposite sides. Another thing you can do to help yourself out is take a marker and make your channel. Now again, you can certainly reverse the screws at any time, make a new hole. This channel just gives you that 90-degree sweep. All right, and the other thing you can do is you can line the screw up with a line that comes off to the side here, so that when you put this guy together, he'll be ready to go. I know what you're thinking, because it's the same thing I was thinking. Hey, these little barrel swivels, they won't take the weight. I'll be able to kick or punch right through them. Well, let's put it to the test. Here's the test setup. We have a hockey stick, and suspended on the hockey stick is a 500-pound paracord, and then the little swivel, and then another 500-pound paracord. It's 10 pounds, and hang it on here and see how it does. And just for good measure, we'll spin it around. So let's see if we can do 20. So here we go, 2 10-pound plates. All right, that's 20 pounds. Spin it around. It's doing fine. So if you can kick or hit the lightweight Ninja spinner more than 20 pounds, it's not gonna break. Before you put the screws on the pivot part, there's a couple of things you need to do. You wanna take and put, in this case, the leg piece on and tamp it down real good. Then you wanna do that to the other side. And then you're gonna wanna put a screw in both of these guys so that they don't pop out. Not that they'll pop out anyway, but this is just to make it extra secure. Drill the hole. Then take the screw and run it home. Now you have to assemble the rest of the leg. You can see where I've carved that out just like I did on the other ones. Yep, and I see the hole. Do the other side. Okay, do I see the hole there? Yep. And then it's just a matter of putting the new screws in place. And you've got 2 legs. You don't really need to tighten down on these too much, just get them close. There you go, so you have one that can go one way and one that can go the other way when they're spinning around. So I'm going to put one up high and one down low, just to give it a little bit of variation. All this is up here is a 2-inch eye bolt, and then I've got another piece here to take it off just like I did. I make a double loop and put it in the carabiner here. Holds the spinning Ninja, and that's just so I can take it on and off, get it out of the way when I'm not practicing. Here we go, final test. Oh, it got me in the gut. It's a great workout. Come on. Thumbs up and comments, always appreciated. Thanks for watching. This guy is kind of fun. He's kind of scary and wacky. And he's relatively inexpensive to make. Give it a shot. I think you'll realize he gives you an honest workout. If you're interested in these kind of builds, check out my channel. I make something new or test something new at least once a week. And if I have enough time, it's twice or more. Thanks for watching.